Hi everyone, welcome back to another drawing video. So today, a bit of a different one. So it's Hokage Mountain. It's got, the background of the Hidden Leaf Village, and we've got the 7 Hokage faces in the background. So, a bit of a tricky one, but we're going to give it a go. So we have the top of the mountain just going across here, and then like 7 faces, but they're kind of rock-like faces. So, bit of a different one, but we'll give it a go. So we're going to start over here with the first Hokage, right here. So, let's go. Right, so we'll start with his headband. I think is probably easiest, because the 3 on this side are looking this way. So we'll start with his headband just here. So, a line down. Just like that, and then this line comes across this direction, just there, and touches his ear right here, just like that. Now his ear comes down here, and he has just a little sideburn just here. So now his jaw comes down from this ear, like this, comes down, comes across like that, and then comes back up to his cheek, and then back up to that headband. So that's like the general shape for his face. And then we have the eyes, nose, and things inside. So we have top eyelid just here, and then this follows down to a nose. So it's like a number 2. See that? Then he has his mouth just here, and you don't have to be like too careful, because it's sort of a rock formation, you know. It can be just a general kind of shape of a face and things. And then he's got a little shadow under his chin. So that's the thing about this. Because they're rocks, you got to make it look like they're coming out of the rock. So we're going to have to add some shadows to it. So his bottom eyelid then is just in under there, and maybe just a line just for his eyebrow, maybe just here. His other eye's just here, and it comes across and up just there. And then there's like a dark shadow just on the side of his nose, just here. So we'll add that in. Just there. And he's got a little other line just underneath there for the bottom of his headband. Comes across to his ear. Now, so he's got a shadow just under his jaw. So that comes down, his neck goes into the rock, comes back up, comes around up under his ear, and then of course all in there is black. Now, so the top of his headband then, so it'll just come across here, come around, come down to about here. This is where it touches the second Hokage's head. And the bottom just like has these little marks to make it look like it's going into the rock. So then we have the top of his head, just comes around here, comes down kind of bumpy, comes down back here, and he's got like, I don't know, his hair or something, like a headband, or like a thing tying his hair together just here at the back. And then there's some little sort of cracks and things, like, so you've got to put, like, to make it look like rocks, we have to put sort of cracks and bumps and things every now and then. You don't have to do too much. Up here and back down. Now, so we have the second Hokage just beside him. So we'll start with his headband again. So we'll go headband line there. And of course his headband comes down around his face. This one comes here. And the top of it comes across this direction, and then it comes down around here a little bit, and down, and then we'll do the inside part of his headband, so it comes down around his face, comes down to that part that's on his face, on his jaw, and then this comes back up to his ear, so his ear is just in here. And then his jaw keeps coming to his chin just here. So chin, jaw, up around to his cheek, up around to the side of his face, and then back up to the headband. So then we have his eye just in here. So top eyelid, bottom eyelid. You don't have to put pupils or anything in. Do the same thing over here, top, bottom, maybe just eyebrow. An eyebrow kind of thing here. We have his nose again, similar to the first, and then the mouth, simple there, chin, and then there's a shadow just inside this part of his nose, just here, just to show that it's sticking out. There's a bit of a crack just here. And maybe one coming down this side. There's a shadow under his chin, very similar to this one. That's all dark then inside. And then his hair then spikes all around his head, so spiking, and these all have shadows on them as well. Spike, 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 there, and this way, and then comes down and behind his head, and then there's some like dark shadows on these. So say on this one, this is dark inside. And then here, dark inside. Here. So we're making them look kind of, giving it a 3D sort of shape by adding just these dark shadows. We'll add just some here, just to show there's hair sticking up in the front as well. And then on here, ears up, and then some just coming right across this section here, because our light seems to be coming from up here somewhere. Okay, so we're on to the third. So he has no headband on in this one. So we just have to draw the shape for his face. So we'll do the side of his face. And he has a kind of a beard, chin, you know, coming off his chin. So we'll do the side of his face first, coming down, just there. Nearly touches the second's hair, comes down to his chin. And then we have this pointy facial hair thing that comes down here. So this will come back up this direction to his jaw, and then up to his ear. And the ear will curve around and up here. So then we have the eyes. So inside here, so there's an eye just here. So we do top eyelid, just there, bottom eyelid. And then there's like a few cracks that come down. Or it's kind of maybe those lines that the third Hokage had on his face. I'm not really sure. And then with the other eye just here, comes down, just there, and those little lines here. They could be cracks in the stone or lines on his face. Eyebrow, just there. Another eyebrow just here. And then this eyebrow comes down to his nose, points that way. And then his mouth is just here. And then his chin. His mouth probably goes a bit longer there. And then he's a shadow, dark shadow, just inside the nose again. There's like a little crack just in his eye, I think. Maybe another one on this side too. There's one on the side of his face, just here. Some coming up the side. Coming around here. And then we have his hair that spikes up all around his head. So we have a little spike coming up from his ear. Another one here. Another one there. And then another one here. Here. Spiking. Spiking. There. Here. And a bit that comes around here. And then he has some that just have a hairline. So he just has some lines that come across his forehead like this. Like a little dark section there. Dark section here. A third dark section out here. And then some lines that come down for hair towards his ear. And those have shadows just like the second Hokage on them. So one here. I'll fill these in black now. So one there. One here. One here. And then one in here. And then down here. So these are all dark shadows inside. And then he has that dark shadow under his jaw as well. So spiking down here for the ear part, and then follows his jaw, coming down, and then for his chin, just a spike here, and then all in there is dark as well. Right, the fourth Hokage. So he's so 1, 2, 3, and then he's down here in the middle. So easiest way to start him, I think he's facing straight forward, so we can just start with his right eye just here. So we just start with his top eyelid, bottom eyelid, up like this, and then across to his other eye. Try and get him symmetrical. That. We don't have to worry about pupils or anything because they're stone monuments. It's a curved line just here for his nose. And then a line down the middle. If I go too fast, pause it. He's a line for nostril. And then there's a shadow on this side of his nose. I gotta go relatively quickly on this one because it'll be a long video if I don't, because you're drawing 7 faces instead of 1. So his mouth then, just under there, and then a shadow under on his chin, just here, and then we can do his chin just there, and then his jaw will come up, and then his jaw comes up here. And then he has his long pieces of hair on the side of his face. So one comes up this way. One kind of comes up here and spikes back down because like it becomes stone, I think. So it spikes up and down and then comes down here. And it's kind of scraggly looking. And this piece of hair comes down into the rock so they don't join. So it comes up, back this way. So this comes into rock just here. So there's all like, you know, rock lines and formations and things, but we'll do them at the end. So we'll just go the other side of his hair, spiking up around to here, and then he has the spikes of his fringe that come down around his face, just a line for his eyebrow, spiking, and then one spike just on its own in there, and then the rest that go around his head. This way, spiking all the way around. Kinda like that, I think. Then we have a spike here, and then he has those shadows inside the spikes. So he has, let's see, so he's one here. He's one here. Here. There. One there. And then another one. Kind of here. I forgot I left out a spike. Whoops. There. And then a shadow that goes across all the way to here. And then up this direction. And all in there's dark. Oh, and there's a shadow under his chin as well. 4 down, 3 to go. Because this is from Boruto. It's actually from the end credits. If you watch Boruto, you could freeze frame and you see where I'm drawing it from. So Tsunade, her right eye. The Tsunade, Kakashi, and Naruto are all facing forward. So we'll just start with their eyes. So her eyes just up from the 4th. We go across the bottom eyelid. Come over and do her right, her right eye, but the eye on the left. And then here, bottom eyelid. We line straight down for her nose. We have a nostril. We have her mouth. Shadow on her chin. We have her chin just here. Comes up to her hair. So her hair frames her face in this one. So we have eyebrows then, just across here. An eyebrow across here. And then there's that sort of shadow on the side of her nose. Not quite as dark as the others, but it can be if you want. And then her hair, so coming down here, comes down into the mountain, and then comes back up out of the mountain. So it's like the faces are growing out of the mountain. Coming around here, goes up this direction. We can do something similar on the other side. So down, hair coming up. So kind of making them kind of bumpy lines because they're sort of rocks. And then her hair fringe comes up around like this on both sides. Back down. A bit maybe in more towards her eye there. And then there's kind of hatching or hairlines just inside here, just to show, I guess, that that's inside her hair, just here. And then she has that triangle on her forehead. Not triangle, it is a diamond. So, diamond shape, like that. And she has some rock marks and cracks and things going down her face too. And she's a shadow underneath her chin. So it just comes around here. Down, and it's all dark inside. Maybe some hatching just here, just to put a little shadow to that side. Okay, we're getting there. Kakashi. So we go up, we go down, and we go back up. So it's kind of a zigzag kind of shape from the third on. These guys are nearly right beside each other, and then we go up, down, and then back up. So Kakashi's right eye, we go down. It's about here. So we're going to do the top eyelid, bottom eyelid. You just got to get the general shape for the eye, because they're not like perfect sort of representations of the characters because they're in rock, so they're slightly distorted. So right eye with eyebrow, left eye then underneath like that, maybe a bit of an eyebrow just there with some hatching maybe for shadows, it seems, just in there. Then so we have his mask that comes across his face just there, around like that, line for his scar just there, and then the side of his face comes down to his chin. Make it a bit more pointy there. And then he has the shadow for his nose, so just dark shadow for his nose there. I'm just going to make his chin a bit longer. I think it should be longer. And then his ears just here. He's a spike for hair. And then his headband. His headband actually has a crack in it, so it just comes up like that and then goes across to the side like this. And then he has the side of his face. And he has a few rock pimples and things. Top of his headband, just here. Spikes for hair then, so Kakashi's hair goes around in this direction. So we'll start just over here, come up here, spiking, across, down, across, down, across, back. Okay, how are we looking? Not bad. Then it's one spike in here, and then he has, of course, those shadows on the spikes like the rest. So one there, little spike here, just in here, one here, one here, one here, one there, shadow in there, there as well. So they're all dark, and there is just some hatching kind of cracky lines here as well. And he's a shadow under his jaw and chin as well. And there's another spike of a shadow just coming down there. Right, Naruto. So we'll do his right eye just here. Bottom eyelid just there. Right eye up here. Bottom eyelid here. His eyebrows just coming up here. Another one there. You could add some hatching in there if you'd like. It's the way it is in the picture anyway. And then his nose, so straight line down, nostril, and then shadow on this side. His mouth then. Shadow under his chin. And then his chin just here. And then his jaw comes up around to his ears on both sides. An ear here. And an ear here. And he's a piece of hair sticks down here. Piece of hair sticks down here. And then of course he has those lines on his face. His headband. So we have his headband just here, comes across. And there's like some rock sort of formations as part of that also. So little jaggedy lines, dots and things. and then his hair spikes. So we have, just coming around from the headband, 1, 2, 3, 4. This one comes to, where's this one go? There. Up, down, up, down. Another one comes out that way, I think. Back down, back to there, back down, back out, back in. And then he's a few that just go across the front. So one here, one here, and then one here. And then of course they have all shadows like the others. So it's dark in there, line there, dark in there, dark in there, dark there, dark there, dark across here. So we color all them in dark. He's a shadow also underneath his jaw and chin as well. So just a general shape. It can be bumpy and scraggly because of the rocks. And then we're going to draw the line for the top of the mountain just across. So comes across the top, bumping. You could do this any kind of way you want it. Comes across, goes behind the third Hokage's head. Comes down just up across Tsunade's head. All the way. Comes down just there to Naruto's hair and then off. And then it has some like black hedging or something, some trees just around the top. Of course they'd be green if you were colouring them. If you were doing it manga style, they're black. And we're here. And now we just need to add like sort of rock lines, I guess. Yeah, I guess the fancy word would be striations or fissures and things. So lines kind of like this, texture lines. So just to show that there's like texture on the wall, you know. Like maybe a big one here with some shadow in it. So, and like comes up here. So showing bumps, some shadows like this. Here also. So I apologize if this video is crazy long and hard to follow, but I couldn't think of a better way of doing this, so this is the best I could do. And then there's a shadow in here, and various hatching, jaggedy sort of lines coming down and up the mountain. So you're just adding them as you go. If you're copying from the picture, it'll tell you where to put them. If you're making it up, you should be okay as well. You're just following the directions up and down, adding sort of angles, I guess, so kind of triangles and straight lines and stuff, hatching for shadow every now and then. And here. Okay, I think I'm nearly done. In the Boruto one, there's like all buildings and stuff behind that, but that would take way too long. And that is it. That's how you draw Hokage Mountain. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one.